Another good one was the Las Vegas shooting, you know? Now, everybody just thinks some 50-year-old or 60-year-old dude went up and, you know, with a gun and a bunch of bullets to kill a bunch of people, right? That's not actually what happened. I don't think that guy shot anybody. In fact, when he checked into the hotel, why is nobody talking about this part? He checked in with 3 women, Middle Eastern women. Right? Why? And where did they go? They went to the room with him. All right? Moreover, we have eyewitnesses says that shots were being fired from a helicopter.
Yeah.
Right? But if you look at, I forget what it's called now, but there was no aircraft in the air in that area at that time. But that particular helicopter turned off its transponders. And where did that helicopter come from?
Right.
So it's a little bird. Where'd that come from? Arizona. I think it was, who is it, Boeing that's down there? Anyways, they had something like 12 Saudi pilots training on those helicopters down there at that time, right? And suddenly, a very similar bird, a little bird with a people pod on it, was hovering and was shooting. Eyewitnesses saw it. And my question was, I said, John.
Dan Bilzerian talked about this because he was there on the ground.
Yeah. And well,
shooting straight down.
Well, at an angle, because here's why. Because I asked John, I said, okay, if the helicopter was hovering and shooting, it was probably drifting as he was shooting. I said, was there brass found on the ground? And he goes, yes. Several blocks in the parking lots had brass, expended brass laying on the ground. And there's cops out there with their bare hands picking it up and putting it in plastic bags. We got video of it all. Now, how did the brass get all the way over there from this building? Moreover, the window that he shot from allegedly that night was not broken. The one that was broken was next to the one where they found his body. Like, okay, this is making no sense.
In another room?
In another room, right? And so then they had, the one room had a small hole in it. The glass had a small hole in it. And they found, I believe it was 308 spent brass cartridges. And in theory, there were 2 rounds were fired. 2 rounds were fired and hit a fuel tank at the airfield at Las Vegas Airport. So they shot at it with armor-piercing incendiary, and they hit the top of it. And it actually has the black scratch marks where it actually made impact. So 2 rounds actually hit, but they had 8 pieces of brass in there. So the theory is they were trying to create a diversion by shooting those fuel tanks. Now, why would you do all this stuff to kill 50 people on the ground? Because the 50 people on the ground were just a diversion. You know why? Because guess who was staying in the hotel at the same time?
MBS.
MBS was staying there. All right? Staying upstairs. Now.
Was it the same hotel?
Yeah. So check this out. This is the craziest part. So the 3 girls were, what do you call it? Saudi, it's a GIS? The Intel,
right?
Honeypots,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Probably ex-honeypots, but anyways, they're checking in with him in the hotel, but nobody's talking about that, right? Then they got the 8 rounds of brass in the other room. The room he's dead in, there's no broken glass. The next day when they come back up to do the forensics, all of a sudden the glass is broken that he was laying in. Who broke the glass now? It wasn't broken in the morning because that night they actually have video of the room that he's supposedly in, and the glass is not broken.
Really?
Right? There's more. There's so much more to this whole thing. So here's the other thing. So MBS, his bodyguards were like, we got to roll, right? They rolled out the back in the vehicle, and his vehicle shot up. And it's nowhere in the line of sight, line of fire of the helicopter. It's got another building between us. There was a firefight over on the airport, on the airfield, a small one. And they got infrared video, FLIR footage of 5 packs with weapons crossing the airfield. And they saw people get into a private jet and then take off. So none of this is in the news, by the way, right? Even the news, the cops said, yeah, there were no AK-47s. It was just AR-15 with a bump stock. And I'm looking at the video, go, well, that's an AK-47S with a collapsible stock laying right there, leaning up against that chair. How come you're telling me there's no AK? That's why I was on the show. Because I pointed shit out like that. They said there's no AK-47. I said, there's one right there. Mm-hmm. Then they found an entire suitcase full of 30 and 40 round AK-47 magazines loaded in another room. What are those there for? And it gets crazier because later on, they have cops on the back side of the hotel, about a block away. They see somebody coming down a zip line from the back of the hotel. from the hotel window down the back, coming down a zip line into the parking lot.
What?
Yeah. Think about that. And the cops are going, well, wonder what that's all about. Wonder what they're doing. They didn't even investigate. They just see some people sliding down a zip line. Is that the 3 chicks trying to make an escape? I don't know. There's so much to this story. Like I said, this was a 3-hour podcast, and the evidence was just mind-boggling. You know, the number of people getting shot. So he only had 1,100, I believe 1,104 rounds is what he had all total. And they had, you know, of course, 50 KIAs and lots of people wounded, blah, 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 blah. But there was another weird anomaly. About 22 people had gunshot wounds to the head, like 22 caliber from a horizontal shot, and some were on a fucking roof.
Horizontal.
Yeah. It's like somebody, boom, took those kind of shots. Man, I wish I could get a hold of John again because, I mean, it's out there. This whole podcast is out there. But yeah, this, you know, nobody was talking about any of this. They just made it sound like some crazy 62-year-old white guy just got up there and started shooting fish in a bowl, right? And that's
So
not
what was the story? Somebody was trying to get MBS?
They were trying to get MBS.
Who?
The Saudis. So why would they? Because they've been trying to take him out for a long time because they don't, he's actually more pro-Western and he's a little bit more commonsensical, right? So for whatever reason they want, because right after that, 30 days later, he went back and I believe he arrested over 200 people, all tied to this. And that guy Khashoggi.
In Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. That guy Khashoggi.
Yeah.
That guy's involved in this as well. To what degree, I don't know, but there's a reason they took him out because they believe that probably he was an enabler for this whole operation as well. So it starts getting really deep, but 200 people were arrested when he got back, or when he got back to Saudi Arabia after that, within 30 days. But yeah, it's just the video footage alone speaks volumes. Like,
Jesus.
this guy's laying right there. There's no hole, no broken glass anywhere in this room. It's in the other room, right? So a lot of these conspiracy theories are starting to be true, you know?
And it doesn't help when the government just doesn't come forth with the truth. Like they conceal and hide the information, which enables all these conspiracy theories to just explode.
Absolutely. And when we have real evidence, like the Butler Creek thing, and we have real evidence at Las Vegas, and they're still not talking about it. They're just kind of dismissing it, right?